Hello, I'm Brian Foster, and today we're going to talk about another verse from the Bible. It'll be Matthew chapter 13, verses 10 to 13. And before I begin, please hit the subscribe, hit the bell, hit the like buttons. This will help spread the words of Spiritism to explain to people who you are, why you're on earth, why you go through multiple lives. Jesus is the leader of our planet. We are immortal, and karma is real. All things that we need to know in order to understand why we're on earth and why we go through the trials and tribulations that we are going through. So, Matthew chapter 13, verses 10 through 13. Then the disciples came and said to him, "Why do you speak to them in parables?" And he answered them, "To you it has been given to know the secrets of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it has not been given. For to the one who has more will be given, and he will have it in abundance. But from the one who has not, even what he has will be taken away." Now, what does this mean? Now, a lot of people understand this, but let's talk about how we interpret it through Spiritism. Christ was speaking to his disciples. They may not have realized how truly blessed they were, for just to be in the presence of the leader and creator of the earth and the heaven surrounding it was a momentous event. Never before and unlikely afterwards to have Christ incarnate on earth. It was an unusual Christ event. Now, speaking in a confidential manner with his disciples, he let them in on their future and the future of others who would follow in their steps. Now, one can say, what are you talking about? Most of the disciples met violent deaths, and countless other Christians died for their faith. But this is thinking in physical terms, in the natural terms, not in the spirit realm terms. Each disciple, except Judas, rose to heaven after their death, and there they received more power and responsibilities because of the wonderful task and the missions that they successfully completed. So, for example, one of Christ's disciples, we don't know which one, it was so important that he was nominated, he probably volunteered for the job, to come back as St. Francis of Assisi to try and steer the Catholic Church back to the correct road of being service to others, not having everyone service them. Now, Spiritism, the Spiritist literature I have read doesn't reveal much, any, about the power and responsibilities of the famous early Christians. They have talked about Peter, and he kind of wears the same garb he wore as one of the disciples. Well, go to different places and look at different mediums and actually be interested in that. So he must have some sort of responsibility in evangelizing the world. But other than that, you don't hear much. But I do believe most of them must have positions of great responsibility and power and are diligent in assisting the earth to move forward spiritually. Why? Why were they given positions of great power? Well, first they completed the mission, but also during that completion of the mission, they radically changed their attitude and their character because they learned how to be humble and they embraced their task to serve and to love humanity. Hence, they had faith and were given more responsibilities to utilize that fountain of love for the good. Those who have are given more, while the one who has not, meaning they do not understand the teachings of Christ or of the spirit realm, they are the materialist who only desires what they can feel, touch, and own. Their supposed treasures will be taken away when they pass away. The material wealth owned by the person who only sees all possibilities in one physical life is constantly destined to lose all accumulated wealth built up during their short sojourn on earth. When they're in the lower zone or below, depending on what crimes or what things they've done during their physical life, they will start to question their actions, and they will start to begin to change their attitude, and they'll want to start over anew in a new physical life. And if they have changed their attitude, they will rise. They will get better and better, more spiritual, and they will trend upwards. If not, They'll just keep going through life after life, the same materialistic person. In fact, Spiritists call that parking, where you are just, you don't change life after life. You just kind of keep being that materialist person. You're given chances to increase your spirituality. You're given chances to do good. You're given chances to serve others. And yet you want wealth. You want power. You want all that comes to you. And I'm saying that as someone who's been told, I've done that, right? I've been in meeting. They said I failed over and over again, and all I've wanted to do is gather wealth for myself and take it from people. So I know it happens because I am one guilty of it. So I hope that helps you understand more about the backstory of when Christ gives his parables and talks to his disciples. If you'd like to learn more, especially how I found Spiritism and how I recognize the signs and signals from the guardian angels and from the spirits around us, please read my book, The 7 Tenets of Spiritism, How They Impact Your Daily Life. I hope it will help you in your discovery of why you're here, why you go through the trials that you do. They're all for a purpose. They're all educational. And it will help you relieve your stress, because then you'll understand why we have all the stimuli coming at us all the time. It's all planned, and it's all for the good. God bless.